What if I told you your garage could have more cars than Jay Leno's garage? What if I told you that you could take every single one of your cars for a spin without leaving the comfort of the sofa or the mildewy smell in your mother's basement? Well, today you can do just that with Forza Horizon 3. Forza Horizon 3 brings you to Australia, the land down under, where you can drive everything from dune buggies to grocery getters to some of the most powerful production cars the world has ever seen. Strap up. Look out for that kangaroo, because we're going on a little review here to let you know if you should use your hard-earned cash, dineros, bucks, dollars, euros for this game.
To Horizon Australia for the biggest, the best, the most out-of-control event in the history of the Horizon Festival.
For those of you who aren't familiar, the Forza series is basically the popular and critically acclaimed racing video game series by Microsoft, published by Microsoft Studios. It's basically Microsoft's answer to Gran Turismo for the PlayStation system. The Forza Motorsport series is always about a few different things. Great graphics, tons of cars, tons of customization, tons of different player lobby leaderboards, different things to keep people competitive, different spray paints. You make your own spray paints, you make your own paints for your cars, your own details for your cars, your own decals for your cars. You're able to share them in the marketplace. It's always been about that racing experience and bringing together the racing community experience where you could swap your ideas, you could swap your engine intakes, your different type of components that you got on your car, and pretty much pit them up against other players who also are into doing the same thing. You have your tuners there, you've got your artists there. It's all been about bringing the racing community together. Well, the Forza Motorsport series, the Forza Motorsport game itself, has always been about, like I said, that customization, but also about racetracks all over the world. Different structured racetracks all over the world. The Horizon series brings a more open world aspect to the Forza Motorsport series. So if you're not familiar with Horizon, basically the first Horizon came out, and I believe it was 2012, and the setting there was the U.S. state of Colorado. Instead of it being all these different racetracks all around the world, you had an open world environment, the U.S. state of Colorado, where there was called the Horizon Festival. It's basically the Horizon Racing Festival. Then we had Forza Horizon 2, which basically added different things like night racing, you name it, different aspects there. And now we're on to Forza Horizon 3, which still gives us the open world racing, crazy customization, crazy cars, crazy things to choose from that we've always said and loved, but it brings us to the land down under. Our setting now is Australia. The first item that we're going to address here is graphics. One thing the Forza series has always been known for is beautiful graphics and beautifully rendered environments. Not only is that no exception here in Forza Horizon 3, but I think they've actually raised the bar on what they've done with this racing experience. This Australian map has been rendered in such amazing detail that it's hard to have any complaint about the graphics whatsoever. The beautiful illumination from the lighting, whether it's daytime, nighttime, dusk, dawn, the beautiful hue you get just driving through the rainforest, the tint off the desert sand, beautiful picturesque beaches. It almost makes you stop sometimes and get distracted because you're totally immersed by the visuals in this game. Totally immersed by the visuals in this game. Especially you're whipping along at 100 plus miles an hour. You've got trees whipping past you, cars whipping past you. You're on some of these roads, racing on some of these roads. You got the traffic coming at you, flashing their lights at you. It is one graphical experience, I would say, you do not want to miss. Not only are the environments detailed in graphical beauty, but the actual intricate details of the interiors of these vehicles. Buy a car. You buy a car, you can open up the doors, walk around, take a look around, open up the trunk, you can take a look at the lights, take a look inside, step inside the vehicle, take a look around, start it up, see how it sounds, rev the engine. That's what is amazing about the Forza experience. Total immersion, total graphical beauty, all the way down to the dirt on the car after a race, the dirt on your rims, the scratches, the damage, the dings, the dents that have all shown that you put your time in some of these off-road races in Forza Horizon 3. Graphically, we give this game a 10. Graphics are incredible. Now, I give the game a 10 in graphics. However, I do want to add the one thing that a lot of people might ask. This game does not play at 60 frames per second. The game is capped at 30 frames per second. Now, before I get into how it's capped at 30 frames per second, I just want to let you know, we're not going to hold that against Forza Horizon 3. And the reason why we're not going to do that is because the entire Forza Motorsport series, they've all been capped at 30 frames per second. And it's something we've learned to deal with, and it's something we've learned to embrace because we don't have dips. And it's a completely fluid experience with beautiful graphics, so we're willing to accept that. Now, myself, I'm a PC gamer, so I'm used to high frames, but even still, capped at 30 frames per second, the graphics are so beautiful, there's so much going on at every single moment that you rarely even realize it. I played for about 4 hours straight, frames per second, capped at 30 frames per second was never an issue for me. Graphically, we give it a 10.
Chalk it up, boss, that's a win. Plenty more to come, I hope.
Beyond the beautiful graphics, the Forza series has always been built upon customization. Forza Horizon 3 is no exception. Here in Forza Horizon 3, like I said, you have 350 cars to choose from. How you decide to completely customize these cars, from the bolts to the intake to the exhaust, you name it, it changes the handling. You do whatever you want to your car. Do you want to go off-roading? Better change that suspension, change that tire PSI, change that tire compound, change that tire size, change the rim size. The customizations are limitless. Now you might say, that's a little too detailed, that's too much for me. Guess what? You can choose already customized options, so you don't have to go into intricate detail if that's not what you want to do. But this is not just a simulation game. You're not supposed to spend too much time in those menus. The game actively encourages you to go out and drive. You have your mechanic, Warren, and every now and then he'll hit you up and point out rumored bar finds where you look for these abandoned classic cars and you can keep them, add them to your garage. Your assistant, Kira, she'll let you know about these races you can attend and new challenges you can take. But the highlights are the crazy showcase events. You'll be racing against airlifted cars by helicopter, different things. I raced against a Jeep airlifted by a Chinook helicopter, and that's what I was racing. It's just a crazy, outlandish, different types of things that force you to want to get back into the race, get back on the road, and get out of those menus. As for customization, I'm going to go ahead and say customization gets a 10 as usual with the Forza series. A big 10 for customization because the opportunities are only limited by your imagination and by your needs for whatever type of race that you're about to partake in. The next topic we're going to get into is online multiplayer. I mean, what would a racing game be without somebody to race? Of course, we do have the AI in the game, which the AI is actually pretty fun to race against. While you're driving around here or there, just checking out the beautiful landscapes, every now and then you can pull up next to a car, beep the horn, and take off and see who's mano-a-mano with the pedal to the metal, who's got the more aggressive engine, who's got the better driving skills against the AI. But if you're like me, you have more fun racing against other people. So I joined in a couple races. I actually made first place in one of the races. One thing I noticed, the seamless experience, the seamless transition from single player to multiplayer was one I give 2 thumbs up for. It searches for people in events and pretty much puts you in different challenges, which are like straight up racing, which is like sprint race or team race, and then crazy games like capture the flag and infection. Infection is basically like, you know, almost like a tag your it type gameplay with cars. A lot of fun different types of things you can do there. You could ignore those events and just drive around in the online open world too. It's all up to you. Again, the choice is yours. The multiplayer is really well implemented, and me personally, I never felt like it was an issue either leaving a game or joining a game. However, one issue I had with the multiplayer, as you can see in one of the races that I'm going to post here that I played, there was a little, I don't know if it was a lag issue, I don't know if it was an issue of transitioning with a brand new game here or a server issue, but I never lagged at all. However, I kept noticing a car next to me kept clipping in and out. I don't know what type of issue was going on there, but as I play more of the multiplayer, I'm going to be able to give you guys a better review of that. It felt a little weird because normally I'm used to Forza, I'm used to racing online, and it's a very smooth experience. I don't know, and I did have to question, I don't know what was going on there. I don't know if maybe that player was lagging. So right now, as far as the online goes, I'm going to say the gameplay is phenomenal. The transition is seamlessly smooth and phenomenal. However, I'm kind of questioning. I don't know what that clipping was about. So we'll say the online, we're going to give that an 8 right now because, hey, that could have been just him lagging. I don't know if that was a lag issue or if it was a server or a game issue. So right now, we're going to give the online multiplayer experience an 8. Just because when you're racing online, you want smooth. You want to be able to see that car next to you just in real time. The car kept clipping around. I didn't know if I was in first place or second place or what was going on there, but I finally did win that round. So we're going to end that multiplayer there in my review with an 8. I could continue this review on and on about so many of the intricate details in this game, but there's way too much to cover in one time, and I actually want to get back into the race. I want to get back into the game. As soon as I'm done recording this review, I'm getting right back into the game. So I'm going to leave it here and let you guys know my verdict, my review. When it comes to Forza Horizon 3, I say absolutely a buy. I throw it 2 thumbs up. If you have the Xbox One console or you have a PC strong enough to handle it, this review was done on Xbox One, but if you have a PC strong enough to handle it, I highly recommend this racing game. You will not be disappointed. You have crazy amounts of cars, beautifully detailed environments, beautifully detailed vehicles, adrenaline pumping races, beautiful music, beautiful immersive sound. Turn down the radio station while you're racing just to hear these engines. It is an incredible experience and one that I would highly recommend to every single one of you if you enjoy racing games. And if you just want to give it a look, at least pick it up to rent, at least check this gameplay out. You will not be disappointed. I give it 4.5 out of 5. I would have given it a whole 5, but hey, I've only played it 4 hours. Who knows? My review might actually change later on down the road. We've given it a few hours in, and I'm loving it. And I want to get back into it right now. Thanks for watching. Thanks for checking out the review. And hopefully, I'll see some of you guys on the road in Australia.